Hi, Taurus. This is your homework family reading. Let me hit the bell for August 15th through the 31st. Seriously, guys. Thank you. Yeah, you heard me say seriously, guys, because seriously, this is an urgent message for you all. I'm being brought in for like the last 2 hours. They've been sending me all over on a wild goose chase on information to bring to you. So I just said, fine, we're doing the whole video right now. You guys are definitely about to come into a new level of understanding yourself. More or less, you need to know thyself from the 15th through the 31st. But really, you need to know yourself before the 28th. Now, this is important because Uranus is in your sign. Uranus is going retrograde on the 11th of August. So by the time you're getting to this video, it should already be retrograde. Now this is the thing. Most people aren't talking about Uranus going retrograde, but it is going towards Eris, which is who I call Medusa. This is trouble, toil, strife, facing all the injustice and the what I can't let go of energy. And your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom, your inventive self, and your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. Right now, that is all the energy of what Uranus and Taurus is. And for you, that's your universal first house. So this is very powerful energy of not getting stuck in the injustice. Okay? This is about rising above. I am being given 14 and 4, 14 and 4, and 14 and 4 over and over and over and over again. And for me, 4 is, the universal things that cannot change. It also speaks to us of the yod. It speaks to us of creation itself. The ability to have the creation, or the ability to make room for creation. When I'm looking at it from a Hebrew standpoint of the yod. If I'm looking at the 4 itself from the idea of how I take 4, it's the universal law. Like there is always a morning, an afternoon, an evening, and a night. These things do not change, period. There will always be the planets, there will always be the sun, there will always be the moon, and there will always be just the galaxy and the universe outside of that period. These things do not change. There will always be 4 directions. There will always be the 4 seasons. Even if you live in areas where there is not 4 seasons, they still exist. I'm sorry, I'm very, very, very revved up right now. So these are the things of the creation and the universal, working with the universal energy. Do not work against the universal energy right now, because it's going to backfire on you so bad, is basically what I'm being given. Because when I turn it into a 14, this is the alpha connecting with that universal energy to create something new. Which also brings you to a 5, which is unpredictable change. An inevitable change is what I just heard. So, in some of this situation, this is what I'm talking about. Now, the reason this is becoming so important is because Spirit just kept giving me the first house. Alright, long story short, I just made a new deck that I made personally for me, and I was playing with it when they just went crazy talking to me about you. And that's where this all comes forward. I'm being told, hold on, I'm being shifted to something else. I'm being shifted to energies of grief, sorrow within relationships. Grief, sorrow, shame, secrets, regret, fear, a whole lot of fear. Overcoming fear. Fear of expressing yourself. Fear of speaking your truth. Frustration being caused because of it. And depending on where the Lionsgate energy took you and where you know yourself and how far along you are in your spiritual growth, this won't be as intense. But I'm feeling like they're saying a lot of you didn't come full circle into your self-realization, into, the expression of understanding what you truly desire in life. Which is just weird, because the way I see the Taurus energy is the Taurus energy wants, why can't I just have heaven, man? Why can't it just be all good? Why can't I enjoy life? I want the better things in life. Why can't we just have it? And I feel like if you are not really soulfully giving yourself the benefit of the doubt and the chance of going after those things that help you create that heaven on earth, then you are definitely fighting within your own inner fears, and it's gonna be really going against you if you don't get on the right track of yourself come the 28th. And this is why they're pushing it out on me. Because they're saying the energy from the heart has to be spoken outwardly. You're going to be dealing with 12th house issues, is what they pointed out. 6th house issues. You've got a lot of fire going on. Either you have major coming into your passion, your action, aggression, which is what you should be, into your inner passion, and figuring out that stuff of where you want to take that eternal flame so that you can have that heaven here on earth. Or you seriously have some fire elemental people coming into your life, like a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, because I just keep seeing from a different deck those images coming back up. Aries, fire, Sagittarius. Aries, fire, Sagittarius, Leo. I'm even seeing the sun come up, which is Leo twice in that sense. So you may have a lot of that going on, and I'm being told a lot of Venus energy. All right. 14, though, for me, again, is the alpha stepping into working with that universal energy and where that needs to shift and change. I am being given a caution of Othala. Let me just explain. Othala is a rune. It looks like this. Okay? Because on the 28th of August is when Othala forms in the astrology. Originally, this sounds like it's going to be a good thing, but there's a trick in it. Othala is ancestral. It is property. It is heritage. It is homeland. It indicates the importance of the big issues. Structured or considered approach to a brand new situation. Larger picture, looking at the larger picture. And I say this all the time. This is a picture right here. Why are you looking at the picture? Don't look at the picture, because the picture is just something inside of a frame. You are only looking at the small picture. They're saying look at the whole damn wall. Now project that outwardly, like if you're looking out a window. Why are you only looking, at the window in the house? Why aren't you looking out the window? Is what they're saying at the big world around you. See the big picture. Othala speaks to us of the whole family, the society, and the very nation. It speaks to us of the presence of the leader and the community as the whole. This is you finding yourself as the leader within your life and making sure that you're doing it in a proper, positive way, not in one that's coming from trouble, toil, and strife and injustice. It is the rune of sacred space, Othala is. It is the burial mound. It is inherited wealth, inherited property, and inherited power. It is the nation of the community, the social unit, the family, or the clan and tribe. It is the proper social boundaries, separating the different groups and the different properties, and ensuring the proper environment for the whole service of all. It speaks to us also of true leadership, like I said. Othala, for me, when I get Othala in general, without going into they are saying if it is coming in that you're looking into things from an injustice level, it'll be loyalty to sustaining proper forces when maybe those forces are meant to break and shift and change, because you are going to be dealing with the 12th house. Okay, that was just what they're telling me. Also, this is a major time of growth for you. Even if you don't necessarily want it or like it, you're going to be getting it. Is that it? It is a completion of a cycle for you. And you'll be coming into a no consciousness because of it. You may not acknowledge all of this until the end of the month, and I'll explain in a minute. But Othala for me also speaks to us of, this is the home. This is what cannot be taken away. The soul that's inside of here. This is only a vessel. I mean, it speaks to us of the home, but it's the home that can't be taken away. This is the vessel, and the only way you lose this power is because you gave it away. So it's time to reclaim it, is what I'm being given. Okay, you had the full moon that took place in Pisces on the 15th. So it's going to be speaking to you about, being over compassionate when maybe you shouldn't have been. And I say that all the time because in Pisces, we want to believe things are good. We want to believe in people that are good. And a lot of times we get taken advantage of because we already knew that they weren't necessarily. But we wanted to have hope and believe, and so we created the compassion and we gave it to them, and we got done dirty. A lot of times this is a place where we get taken advantage of when the moon is full in Pisces. But it will be bringing things to light of things that need to be seen and changed. Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury are all moving into Virgo this month. And Virgo is what Spirit kept giving me. So we'll look at that in a minute. On the 18th, Mars moves in. On the 21st, Venus moves in. On the 22nd, the Sun moves in. On the 29th, Mercury moves in. But full moon takes place on the 28th in Virgo. And like I said, Spirit is telling me that Othala in astrology starts on the 28th, because I kept saying the 28th was going to be an important day. It's going to start on the 28th, and it's going to run straight through that astrology until September 9th. And that's very important. And as I get into the astrology, we will check out what that means. Let me pull that up. Like I said, I was just chilling, having myself chilling time, working on my cards, and for the last hour and a half, 2 hours, it's just been go, figure out Taurus. So, alright, here we are. Now let me find out what I gotta look at, because I went ahead and made a copy of the astrology all the way up till September, so let me get in the right area. It helps if you go the right way, shall? Originally, in the beginning here, it looks like Uranus is getting along great with Neptune. But it's not getting along with this energy as it's coming out of Leo and going into Taurus originally. Not Taurus, coming out of Leo and going into Virgo. And that is going to be Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury as they all shift. Okay? This is your Uranus, which is going to be in retrograde, going back towards Neptune, but it's getting along with that in that universal 11th house of the groups, your friends, your wishes, your goals, your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, your self-realization. It is getting along with that. It's getting along with the magic that Neptune can bring. Neptune is tricky, though. It speaks to you of nostalgia. Are you in the real truth magic of what is coming forward, or are you recreating nostalgia and believing in it and creating from that point of view? Are you creating stagnance of what you already wanted to believe? Are you moving forward? Neptune is where fantasy smacks you in the face with harsh reality. It is illusion, it is delusion, it is creation of magic, and it is creation of spirit, and connecting with the difference. And are you connecting in a positive way or a negative way? In a nostalgic way or a now truth? with those groups, those friends, those wishes, those ambitions, your self-realization here, because it's coming from your universal's first house to that 11th house, is your self-awareness, your appearance, your personal ID, and your image of life, your view of life and appearance within what life is, and self-identity to it. Is it realistic? And are you really seeing the truth about what this situation is? Okay, it is not getting along with the sun, which is going, like I said, is about to sun. We'll just say sun, Jera, Ura, which is sacrificing commitment, Venus, and Mars. It's not really getting along too swell with that energy as it's shifting. And we'll just say all of that energy right in the beginning. It's not getting along too well with that. That's 1, 2, 3. That's your universal fourth house. Your fourth house speaks to you of your inner emotional security. It is where the karmic lessons are learned and the reincarnation is made. It is where Spirit is saying your true, real self resides. It is finding how to rebirth that true, real self, and find the personal foundations and the roots that create the truth of that real self and bring that forward. It is fighting with your self-awareness. It is fighting with your appearance, with your image, with the how you're viewing things in life. And it's about to move into Virgo when the energies really start taking on a more powerful energy, and that is the universal fifth house, speaking to you about your creativity, speaking to you of that pursuit of pleasure, your love interests, your personal interests in general, your sports, your hobbies, but it speaks to you of your inner child and the creative enjoyment of life. Are you connecting to the things that you enjoy? Are you taking time for them? And Spirit keeps putting to me the everyday mundane test, the everyday mundane tasks. Are you taking time for yourself to find that enjoyment in the everyday mundane tasks? Or are you putting yourself on the back burner because you're doing everything else? Are you taking time to experience the things that bring you joy? And are you acknowledging the things that bring you joy? And they're saying that's your responsibility to make sure that you make the time to do that. I'm sorry, I'm just tracking the energy for a minute. Then you're going to have Uranus with the moon come in on the 21st through Taurus, and it is definitely going to be speaking to this energy in a positive way of speaking to that pursuit of pleasure, finding how to express yourself and let your inner child come out. It's speaking as these energies come into it of finding commitment within yourself, awareness, your identity, and your image of allowing this to come up. So it's speaking to you of making sure that you're getting on with this energy. But the moon is going to cross over on the 21st, the 22nd is going to cross right over Uranus. And remember, Uranus, this reason that this is so important right now is because I keep being given Medusa energy. Uranus is moving back in retrograde towards Eris. It is not going to get in Aries. It is not going to get there. But Uranus is moving closer to her bitching. Okay? And she is in your 12th house. Your 12th house speaks to yourself, your hidden self, your unconscious self, your karmic debts, your self-deception, your mental illness, where you talk the shit to yourself about the things that you did wrong or that you should have done or you could have done. It speaks to you about grief, sorrow, secrets, blame, shame. It's where the self-undoing is created and those everyday mundane tasks become unconscious, where the hidden lie starts to rot more or less, where the hidden lie goes in and your everyday mundane tasks, you don't realize that those things that you were doing that aren't serving you are going against you. And starts to be like hidden back in the back of the closet. And this is saying that Medusa in this energy, with Chiron in this energy on two separate sides of it, is fighting with one another as to how can we bring healing to this, universal 12th house. And she is bitching that point blank, I have trouble, toil, and strife I'm not letting go of. This is injustice, and I want fucking justice. And Chiron is going, well, sometimes we don't get justice, and we have to find the keys to wholeness by finding them within ourselves. And this is what this is about. This is working through that 12th house, and the rattling inside of the brain is what I feel like I'm getting. This is saying walking away from the decay and the social order and dictatorship of yourself that's keeping you from healing, more or less. Now, it is moving in a very positive way about making, going into that, speaking into that 5th house of that pursuit of pleasure. Stick with that truth. But know when Medusa is talking shit to you, because she's going to be talking shit to you once this energy hits Othala. Let me find. On the 28th. Trying to find one that's easy enough to read. Because that is going to be Uranus dealing with that Uranus dealing with that Eris energy, fighting your ability to get along with that pursuit of pleasure. Trying to tell you where the pursuit of pleasure isn't serving you, but you know damn well it is. And these are the things that you have to know yourself well enough to not let that inner trouble, toil, and strife and injustice keep you from receiving the enjoyment of life that you deserve. It is also speaking to the North Node. The Sirius star is going to be with it in this whole time, because from the 28th through the 9th, the Sirius star and the North Node are in the same degree. And this is God's consciousness. This is Thor's hammer. This is the enlightened teacher speaking to the North Node in that universal 4th house. But for you, that's the 3rd house of your inner communication, as well as your siblings and your journeys, your trivia, your messaging system in general, because that's what Spirit says, messaging systems in general, is speaking right on over to that 10th house again, that 11th house again, of, your goals, your wishes, your friendships, your ambitions, your liberty, your self-realization. These are very positive energies, as long as you don't let Eris fuck it up for you, more or less. The problem is you are going to be sitting on a T-square with that universal 11th house, not getting along with the 5th house and the 8th house. So your creativity, your community, your friends, your goals, your wishes, your dreams, and 8, your 8th house are all going to be fighting, meaning you really need to pay attention to what the rules of these relationships are. The rules of the relationships, of any and all of your relationships. Are there joint finances? Are there joint efforts? Are there joint resources going into these relationships? Are the relationships jointly, evenly being settled and bringing you into a transformational healing as you move forward? Or are they actually taking from you and not allowing you to get what you need? Not allowing you, or not supporting your goals, your wishes, your dreams, your ambition, your self-realization. Are they supporting you or are they not? Because I feel very much if they are not, it's time to cut the cord, because they're giving me decay again and anarchy. If you're feeling decay and anarchy within these relationships, it's time to freaking cut them, more or less. You are going to be finding still that energy of Pluto and the North Node and the South Node, Sirius star, and are all going on in your second house versus second house and ninth house. And they're saying they'll be coming around to the responsibilities of you finding your true self. It's going to be, that third dimensional energy of frustration is going to be coming out of where people want more for themselves. They want a little more narcissistically. They're going to be a little bit more self-centered is what I'm being given. And that's where you're going to start to see where the relationships are good relationships that you need to continue or get rid of. Because that ninth house is going to be speaking to you of your morals, your ethics, your spiritual urges, your higher education, your higher knowledge, your psychic energy. And that is in Capricorn. For you, this is where you're denying it or where you're building a brand new foundation and by believing in it. And are you believing in old things that don't serve you anymore, or are you open-minded enough to change and start to see where ethics may have been wrong, morals may have been wrong, spiritual urges, philosophy, religion itself, and come into a new psychic energy, a new spiritual energy, and give it a chance? Because we are talking about Pluto here, this should be a reincarnation for you, coming into a whole new power in your energy. But it is definitely fighting your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. And that may be because there's areas that you're fighting giving a chance and changing so that you can actually find your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Because it is speaking to you of what you need to learn in order to move forward. That's the majority of it. Let me see. Is there any specific direction? You got a yacht also on the 29th, which is going to be speaking to Neptune, speaking to Cancer, Cancer, Neptune, and Capricorn, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 9, and 11. This is the same thing. Are the relationships and the community around you supporting your wishes, your hopes, your dreams, your self-realization, and your personal liberty, dignity? Are they supporting you or not? Because this is the time to make that change so that they are, more or less. A yod speaks to you of taking a new pathway. A new purpose and a new consciousness being found. So I'm being told, very much caution within those relationships, caution within your everyday mundane tasks, and watch out for Eris's bullshit that's talking in your ear. What does Taurus need to hear? I haven't been given the devil card again, which just does not mean a bad thing necessarily, but it does mean that there's a chance of self-sabotage or overpower within passion and fire and action, which could be bad or good. I mean, it could be a brand new relationship with the devil card, very passionate, but it could also be, very passionate, which is going to overpowering fire energy, like I was saying, with the devil card, which could possibly take you into a self-sabotage if you don't watch it. You create your own reality is the first thing that they are warning you. You need to be aware of that as you move through the end of August and into September. What does Taurus need to hear? What does Taurus need to hear? Was it 2? Saturn sorry, this is the Seven of Pentacles, speaking to you of failure right off the bat versus the Three of Wands with virtue. It speaks to Saturn breaking limited mindset. What was I just saying about that universal ninth house of your spirituality, your soulfulness, your higher self, coming into a true connection with yourself? This is breaking the mindset of what has kept you from doing it. This is fear, factor, or failure that has shown you no results sitting in Virgo. For you, that was, again, I think your fifth house. Yeah, which is saying if you're not finding the happiness and you're having all this failure, it's because you're not connecting with your inner child, your true inner enjoyment of life, and you're not giving yourself that creative ability to have it. This is saying to have some virtue. This is saying think with integrity and clarity. Stop thinking negatively. Break the old mindset. Get out of the old way of thinking. Start having integrity. Start having self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Think with clarity. And then take the proper actions. You've got to get from the negative to the positive in your head. Because you have the Ace of Discs, which in this deck is Ace of Pentacles. You have a brand new beginning. You have, a brand new blessing of a brand new pentacle, which is our tangible reality. You have a brand new start here if you are going after it, if you are doing the proper things that change. If you, like I said, you create your own reality. They are saying it's up to you to make the decisions that are going to get you there. Get past your blocked will. This is 10 of Wands. This is fire. This is Leo. This is Saturn. I am being given Saturn energy again and again. This is shifting the rules, the walls, the boundaries, and the limitations. You've got to change them. This is don't waste any more time in that energy, or you're not going to move forward. Stop thinking the same old way. It's time to make changes. Which one was it? They just keep giving you the same thing. This is Eight of Cups, speaking to you of stagnance, feeling empty, not being able to enjoy what you want to enjoy, overextending or lacking in effort. If you do your everyday mundane task in the same old way, and you help this one, and you do that one, and you do this, and you do that, and then at the end of the 24 hours, you didn't get to do the things you wanted to do. You didn't express the things you wanted to express. You didn't try the things you wanted to try. It just became the same old bullshit, and you got left out. Then you're going to continue to be left out. They're telling you, it's time for, well, it could be one of two ways. It's time to stop being a fool, or it's time to be the fool. It is time. I'm also being given with Spirit anymore. When the Fool comes up, I'm also being given the Shaman. This is time to interconnect with yourself. Find the truth of that inner shaman, the power of the shaman, the magic of the shaman, and then the Fool itself, and take the chance for that independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom. Jump. It's the leap of faith. It's telling you to take the leap of faith and go after what you want. The Princess of Swords. She is speaking to us of very fixed and volatile emotions and actions. It can be controversy. Again, like Spirit was saying, it is fighting your inward and your outer self at the same time. And I was being given Medusa in your energy like nobody's business. This is, you have the 10 of discs coming forward. It sounds like it's going back and forth because it really all depends on if you connect with the fact you create your own reality. This is Capricorn energy. This is getting past the 10 of Ten of Pentacles is wealth. Most people love this card. This has two sides. It really has a double of two sides. This is getting the prosperity, the finance, and the success. This is getting everything you want. So on the outer side of things, because this is Taurus and Venus, this is on the outer view. It looks like you have the heaven on earth. It looks like you've gotten everything you've wanted. But on the inside, is it spiritually empty? Did the money satisfy you? You see what I'm saying? Money only goes so far. It's about the heart. It's about truthfully connecting with what makes you tick, what gets into the heart and soul and makes you enjoy life, what makes you want to be part of life, allows your inner child to create again and enjoy and play. Having the money and all the things that you can buy does not necessarily lift that light back up. This is what we're talking about. Lift the light. You can have everything, but are you having everything? Does it just look like it on the outside, or are you actually creating it? Taurus, what does Taurus need to hear from you that will help them move forward in a positive way? Told you, kept seeing Aries. This is a brand new beginning. This is a brand new beginning. This is a brand new start. This also, Aries speaks to us about me first energy. But are you speaking to yourself from a level of truthfully getting deep down and knowing thyself and being able to give yourself the ability to create your reality and move forward because of the love of life, the love of self, and start a new one? Or are you going to start the same one all over again because of the trouble, the toil, the strife that is going on with Uranus moving back towards Eris, which is Medusa? It's a brand new beginning. This should be a healing energy for you. This should be water energy. It may be very emotional at this time, but it is definitely healing if you are doing your work. Cancer. Where is Cancer for you? Cancer for me typically is nourishing. It is nesting. But for you, it speaks to you of your second house. Self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Is there anything else? Neptune. Are you creating true magic or not? You can have Neptune with its power to do anything you want. It's in your 11th house with your goals, your dreams, your wishes, your ambition, your self-realization, your dignity. Are you allowing Neptune to help you find that? Or are you picking at where you're not getting it? More or less. Or at what you think things have always been, so you're stuck thinking it has to stay that way. Aries comes right back up. It should be a brand new beginning. It should be a brand new cycle. It it needs to be about you right now. And connecting with the fire that helps you start that new cycle. What else does Taurus need to hear? Seriously? You don't talk very much to me. Taurus. Doesn't take that long. They're telling you to get rest, take care of yourself. This is saying if you're not in balance and you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to have time to enjoy shit anyway. Taurus. There's family changes that are going to be taking place. This can be positive, this can be negative. It all depends on where you're taking it. Some people are dealing with retirement or the end of a situation. All of these are butterflies, so these are about transformation. What does Taurus need? No. Not good enough. courage. You need the courage, honey, to transform. That's all they're saying. And look for the heavenly signs. Look for the signs that will point you in the right direction. Is there anything else Taurus needs to hear? To finish off this, what does Taurus need to hear to help them move forward in the most positive way possible into September? Haven't had these cards broken in yet. They're still kind of sticking. Get your priorities straight. Your priorities to your soul. To what the soul needs. Not what society needs. Priorities of what the soul desires, the soul needs. Connect with them and they will help you move forward. Your inner knowing. What did I just say? Priorities of what your soul needs. Listen to your inner knowing and follow the intuition of what it is telling you. There's something else here. What is it, Ganesh? It will bring you to your prosperity. It will bring you to the heaven on earth you truly are desiring. And then take time for your own spiritual practice. And when I say spiritual practice, I don't necessarily mean church or even rituals. Spiritual practice for me is getting right with soul and doing what I have to do to get right with soul, as well as take time for me to get right with soul. So that might be exactly what your spiritual practice is all about. Sometimes spiritual practice is all about giving yourself the time for meditation. Sometimes it's giving yourself the time to relax and like a salt bath and pamper yourself. Spiritual practices has to do with you being sacred to yourself and understanding that healing and that connection comes from that. Have courage in being you. Have courage in knowing what you need to do. Have courage in making the steps forward that you need to create. I mean, look, you've got the lion with it. Anything else? I feel one more. One more. And we're done. Nope. What was I just saying? Relaxation. This is talking about pampering yourself too. Being good to yourself. If you can't be good to yourself, you can't enjoy yourself, you can't love yourself, then how are you going to learn to express yourself and find what makes you happy? Part of what makes you happy is loving yourself and being able to sit back and enjoy yourself. I think that is a very good reading. I think that is definitely trying to help you find a new level of yourself and move into it. Yes, no, because I really wasn't looking for more. I don't think I should say any more. I'm leaving it there because I want you to read it. I think Ganesh just finished off what you needed to hear. I love you guys. See you in September.